ladies and gentlemen, let me let you in on a little secret. That is self-talk. And when you understand that, you start to fall into it, right? Because a lot of times, even with our self-talk, people are happier this time of the year. Would you say more people are a little more happier this time of the year because of the holidays? Now, there's always the grumpy Gus or the sad Sally. I get it. I understand. But the point that I want you to understand is that if you decide right now that December is going to be your best month ever, you make a decision, you cut off that it can't be. The challenge is we never make a decision. We make an indecision. We make an incision. We try to cut into it. We try to dive around and see what's inside of the idea, the thought, the concept. But I promise you, if you understand the power of your own self-talk, promise you this, if you understand the power of your self-talk, you can change everything. So what would it mean? What would it feel? What changes in your body when you say December is going to be my biggest month ever? You feel a little bit of resistance. That, ladies and gentlemen, is called neuroencoding. You're having a thought. Could it be? Could it? Listen, drop a Y for yes or an N for no. Could it? Is it possible? Is there the possibility that December could be your biggest month of any month you've ever had? Is it possible? A Y for yes or an N for no. I promise you, every one of you have to be able to drop a Y. You just, you have to, because the possibility says yes. Now, probability, this is where self-talk comes in. This is where self-doubt comes in. This is where conversations come in. This is where we have neuroencoding coming in. This is where we have the NEST program, the neuroenergetic self-sculpting program come in. So if this could be your biggest month ever, do you feel that and you start to believe it and you say, you know what, maybe it could be. There's a chance. If I decide, if I start right now, right today, not tomorrow, not today, I don't wait till the end of the month. Don't say I'm gonna do a 3-week run and wait to run on day 20. Start today, right now. Listen. Here, you ready for this one? You ready for this one? Could you do, is it possible? Now, it would take a little bit of a stretch. Is it possible that you could do your previous best month of December? Could you do it all today? I mean, if we had planned it a little better, but you could probably, if something very highly leveraged was forcing you into making some powerful decisions to overcome your fear of growth, is it possible that you could do a month's worth of volume in a day? Let me just ask it that way. Have you ever done a month's worth of volume in a day in your business? I hope the answer is yes. The answer's got to be yes, because maybe your very first month when you started, you only did 78 cents worth of volume. So now you could do a whole month in a day. What if you could do the whole month in a day? Watch this. Watch this. You ready? This is self-talk. This is understanding. This is neuroencoding. This is tapping. This is binaural beats. This is all of these conversations that you can use to leverage this thought process. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. You ready? Could you do all previous 11 months worth of volume in the month of December? Wait, what? Could you do all 11 months of volume in the month of December? I'm gonna give you the subliminal nod. Oh yeah, baby, you sure could. So if you could do all of the 11 months, I don't care the business you're in, I don't care how much volume you did. You may have to look outside of the box to bring in revenue. Does that make sense? See, you're looking at trading time for money. When will you upgrade that look? You can still trade time for money, but why not trade time for leverage money? Why not trade time, right? 4 ways to create income. Myron Goldman told me this. 4 ways to create income. Manipulation. Maybe some of you have been not manipulating in a bad way. It's mean you got to dig in, you got to dig the ditch, you got to do the work, you got to create the PDF, you got to do the work. That's manipulation. You got to move things, you got to build stuff, right? If you build birdhouses and sold them on the side of the road, that's manipulation. You build a birdhouse and you sell it for $40. am powerful and capable. So manipulation is the first one. Coordination, maybe you're a manager. See, if you coordinate, you got to coordinate all of the mices, right? You got to coordinate the little mices, the little ducks, the little chickadees to get them all to work in harmony so that you can get a bonus. Those are going to be difficult ways. It's possible. You're limited, though, on time and energy. Does that make sense? So if you're struggling with this idea of having your all 11 months of volume in the next 30 days, it may seem like a stretch. What if? What if you elevated? You jumped from manipulation and coordination. You jumped to conversation. Jim Rohn, amazing soul. Conversation. Tony Robbins, incredible individual. Conversation. Dean Graziosi, conversation. Mother Teresa, conversation. I speak my truth and said. So how do you get paid for your words? Oh, I granted it might be a new concept, a new idea, something new that you got to really wrap your arms around. You get paid for your words. The challenge is looking at the value your words receive. So that's the third way to create income. Conversation. Could you do more lives? Well, the algorithm says I'm only supposed to do one a day. This is not the algorithm. This is your life. This is the best month ever. This is creating massive action, right? How many of us drop an MA if you've ever heard the term massive action? Well, ask yourself, how many times have you been in massive action in 2023? Shake your hands out. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice to tip the scales and go into massive action in 2024 and start with the whole, you got a 30-day head start? Do you want to wait for January 1st to start working on your goals? Why for yes or and for no? Do you want to wait till January 1st to start working on your goals? So then why not start today? Why not? Let's just put the flag in the ground and say, I'm going for this to be my best, my biggest month ever. And my goal is to hit all of the volume in December that I've done in the complete 11 months previously. Feel that energy between them as you start to. It's very possible because you're going to learn the two elevated ways of creating income. Communication. Here's the tough one. Imagination. And place it on your crown chakra. It's about taking your skills and taking your capabilities and taking your capacities and imagining, wrapping them up in a new package. Listen, there's 26. I speak English most of the time. I understand Spanish and can carry on a good conversation. If I spell words in Spanish and I spell words in English, and they use the same 26 letters that I use. Now they may have a little tilde and a ñ, right? And they got little symbols that you can add to it. But they're the same 26 letters. Now I go talk to my Serbian friends, different letters, different characters. My Russian friends, different characters. My Hebrew friends, different characters. Right to left, left to right, up to down, back to forward, Mandarin, right? But in the worlds that I operate in, it's only 26 letters. And for most of you in the worlds you operate in, it's 26 letters. It's your imagination of combining those letters in a new way that creates massively new income. Now you may question that and not sure. But wouldn't it make sense to start today for 2024? Wouldn't it make sense? I mean, it seems like it would make sense to me. It's as a farm boy from Ohio with a 0.9 grade point average, it seems like it would make sense to get as early a start as you could. Here's the thing. You don't have to wake up any earlier. You're already 30 days ahead of schedule. Now, for most people, wildly successful people, when do you think they had their 2024 plan lined out? Do you think they waited till the first? Your answer's probably right. So we got to make up for some misplaced time. It's not lost. We can't get it back. We can't go find it. It's misplaced time. So what if we got really focused? What's the big thing? What's the big thing? What's the, my dear friend of mine, Kyle Wilson, Jim Rohn's former business partner for 17 years. They've got a huge mastermind going on this weekend. About 50 people flying in from around the country and some from across the pond. What do you think this idea is about creating leverage with words? Jim Rohn was known as the business entrepreneur, the business wordsmith. He would get people excited and motivated simply by using words. Words don't teach. Here's what made Jim so powerful. Words don't teach. What they do is allow you to either be inspired or uninspired. And his words inspired people. They activated the enthusiasm in people, the entheos. The reason that so many people struggle today is that they feel they have competition. You don't have competition. You do if you're competing in a commodity. And if your words are a commodity, it's no different than a tin of peas. A tin of peas, a tin of tuna fish, a tin of cream of mushroom soup. Kind of the same, unless you're a brand name, everything's the same. But I like the flavor of Campbell's. How do you know you like the flavor of Campbell's soup? Because I had others and it didn't taste good. How many of your dreams have you had the taste of a good dream, and yet you keep eating the... Be kind. You keep eating, you keep living on the dreams that are lacking in taste. They have no flavor. There's no texture. It's blah. It's bland. It's yeah. Transformation, and I welcome growth. When should that change? See, this is about you taking care of you. And when you start to take care of you, you think, oh, well, I'm going to be selfish. And then I got to deal with everybody else saying, oh my gosh, you're taking time for yourself. How many of you have ever gotten a haircut? Ladies, particularly. You got your hair cut, or maybe you went and got a, I think, what do they call it? A blowout? I'm not sure. So if I said something totally inappropriate, if you get this haircut and and it's $50 or whatever to go get something, a touch up, a tune up, or whatever it is. And people are like, oh, isn't that nice? You must have, oh, wow. Hey, you got your hair. Oh, isn't that, wow. And you can hear the little knife in the back going, oh, aren't you special? But it looks like, right? And drop a Y if that's ever happened. You got a new shirt. You got a new blouse. You got new shoes. Oh my God, shoes. You got new shoes. Oh, I love those shoes. They can't afford it. Why? What do you got to? Yeah, must be nice. And so what do we do to avoid all of that? Big breaths with your healing color of life. We decide to punish ourselves by staying stuck. Does that make any sense at all? Last time I checked, that was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Big tractor trailer smokestack. When you exhale, so see that color leaving what your body needs to shift? Well, first your DMP, your definite major purpose. I can promise you, if you had to take a loved one to the hospital and somebody called you up and said, yeah, but we said we were going to have coffee with me today, right? Somebody called you got, oh my gosh, oh, get in the car. Oh my God, their arm is cut and it's not serious, but it's serious. And you got to get them, you want to get them to the hospital right away. And somebody calls, oh, well, you're not going to, so what a witch on wheels you are. You're not coming for coffee. I just told you, I got to take the kid to the hospital. He cut his arm. He broke a dish in the sink. He was washing dishes. He was doing a good thing and he broke the dish and he cut his arm. Hey, but you're not coming to coffee. You're right. I should go to coffee with you. Sit there. Just hold that a little bit tighter. Wouldn't that be crazy? Maybe. I don't know. I can't imagine running into somebody that would go to coffee and not take their kid to the hospital. Enveloping every cell in your lung and in your body, moving into your... But how many of you are going to scroll on TikTok and going to scroll on Instagram and checking out somebody else's pages because you want to see how they're failing instead of getting your ass to the finish line.
I am so happy and grateful
It's self-talk.
for
It's neuroencoding. It's addiction to approval.
I am so happy and grateful for
It's delusional
feel that
thinking.
energy flowing through you. You've just unlocked your meridian.
So what I would
opened
offer
your
you
chakras and connected this
is an
energy.
opportunity to
I am
understand
so grateful for
this project that I've started about a year ago called Cytopsychogenesis.
so grateful.
The Cytopsychogenesis project. The death of
I am
thoughts
grateful for the energy. I'm
that are
grateful
keeping you
for
from
awareness.
moving into
I'm
the new.
grateful for this
Ceto,
moment
death,
and
psycho,
breathe that
thoughts,
in. I am
genesis
so
starting.
grateful for fill in the blank.
Now,
What
some
else
of your
are you
thoughts
grateful
need
for?
a little, they need a, listen, some of your thoughts need a, I don't know how else to say it. They need a bullet behind the ear.
Flow through you.
Some of your
This
thoughts are killing you and they need
yours.
to be knocked out.
This is your beginning. This
Now,
is
you can never get rid of them. Even if they're dead, they can't go away.
Say yes to more.
So we need to put them in a place in your brain, literally inside of your brain, inside of your energy called your mind. We need to put them in a place that they can no longer do harm to you. They can't be on stage anymore. Imagine a stage and there's one mic and one spotlight on it, and it's the one man show, one woman show, one child show, and the person behind the mic is running the show. In the audience are every thought that you've ever had. Follow me on this. In the audience is every thought you ever had, this ever expanding stadium of millions and millions of thoughts. And when your negative self-talk gets up on stage, do you think there's more people cheering in the crowd for your negative self-talk? Or then a little positive self-talk person gets up on stage, do you think there's a lot of people cheering for them? What are the negative people? What are the negative people in your audience? If positive shows up, positive Polly shows up, positive Paul shows up on the stage and says, hey, everybody, we're going to make December our best month ever. What's the crowd going to say? Type it in the chat. What's the crowd going to say when you're positive Paul or Polly or Peter or Persimmon get up on stage and say, this is the best month ever. We're going for it. What do the negative voices say? We have 60 to 70,000, 80,000 thoughts a day. 80% of them are repeats from yesterday. 80%. And out of those 80% that are repeats, 80% of those are not in your favor. The challenge is we keep listening to the negative thoughts. We keep running these movies in our head that say, I'm not good enough. My mom said this, my dad said this, my ex said this, my spouse said this, my kids told me I'm no good. They wish I wasn't here, blah, blah, blah. The brain is constantly looking for two things. As a neuroencoding specialist and as a brain trained specialist from the Amen Institute, our brain is looking for two things. Will it kill me? Or how fast can I recognize the pattern? How many times have we put something into a pattern that didn't belong? Your best month ever of your lifetime may not have been a pattern that you've ever looked to create. So what did your brain say when I said, let's make this the best month ever? Not this year, ever. Not last year, ever. Let's make it the best month ever. What was the first trigger your brain threw up? The resistance your brain threw up? It's Christmas. I can't even afford gifts for my kids. How many of you, if you said, let's go make December your best month ever, one of their responses was, I can't even afford Christmas for my kids. Were we talking about that? Were we talking about that? Did I ask you that when I said, let's go make this the best month ever? They came up with the resistance right away. Drop an R in the chat if you know somebody, maybe yourself, that resistance was the first thing that showed up. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your self-talk. You proved it. 1,000%. You proved it. So here's the thing, the DIY method, the do-it-yourself method, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to beat it into a pulp is not going to work. You have evidence that your self-talk has not improved yourself. This is such a significant awareness that it's almost frightening to think about it. I have put myself in this situation, and the self that put me here isn't going to give the self that wants me out of here, it's not going to take its foot off my throat. How many of you sometimes feel that way? Your old story, they're standing over you and they got their foot on your throat and you can't speak. You can't think. You can't breathe. You can't sleep. You can't eat. We can upgrade that. We can transform that. We can take that fear and turn it into fuel. We can take that fright and turn it into fight. It's the NEST program, the Neuroenergetic Self-Sculpting. We use EFT tapping to open the meridians. We use chakra. You ever hear self-talk using chakra? Well, it works. You ever hear self-talk using EFT? Self-talk and EFT, self-talk statements and EFT statements combined together with chakra? It's all about the energy in the body. This is a powerful system. The people that have been on this program now for 45 days, 100%, not 50, not most people, 100% of the people have had significant, and it's not because of me. Let me be the first one to X that box. It is not because of me. It's because of you. You have the skills. You have the burning desire. You have the passion. You have the want. You have the want to. You have the wish. It's using language to unlock, to use the code, right? If any of you ever have a combination lock, anybody of you remember the combination? Type in the 3-digit combination, the 3 digits that you used in your combination lock in high school. Anybody remember that? 24, 36, 18. That was mine in high school, freshman year, 24, 36. So if that's the case, you're missing, if you miss one number on a 4-digit combination, but how many digits do you think are in your combination? Your combination of success, how many digits do you think are in it? How many things do you have to have perfect in order to knock the ball out of the park as it relates to your success? There's a bunch. There's your breathing. There's your eating. There's your sleep. All of this, all of these things, and we're not even, how many of you think that your sleep has anything to do with your success? How about your home environment? How about if you got grumpy Gus coming home every day at 6 o'clock and you go, this is just it, and your body starts to shift. Any of you ever have your body shift when your significant other comes home? It can only take one, but the challenge is, as you said, one, your mind. That's a huge answer. That's a huge answer. And if you don't have complete control over your mind, how much of your mind, how many things are in your mind that you need to become aware of? There's thousands of them. We take in 22 million bits of information per eye. 20 million bits of information per second. I'm sorry, 4 million bits of information per eye. We take in 20 million bits of data per second. We have a 20 million bit processor of incoming information. We have a 40-bit processor of applying it. So this idea of making this your best month ever requires you to energetically shift the way you see yourself. Self-talk is key, but so is neuroencoding, so is breathing, so is EFT tapping, unlocking the meridians, so is chakra clearing and opening. Those are all of the things that we talk about. Armani, how are you, my dear? So that's the conversation. Decide if you want to make 2023 this month better than your entire year. It is possible. What if you only did half as well? Would it be your best December in your lifetime? If you just did half of the year of information, half of the year of volume, would it be your best December ever? Probably. That's what I offer for you. That's what I would wish upon you this day, December 1st. Go make December your best. Make the decision. Cut off all of the other doubt. Put your best effort forward. Your best effort, it's for you. Listen, I don't know how many years you have alive. I'm 58. Let's say I got another 40. I have 40 more December 1st. 40 more December 1st. If you only had 40 of something, how many of them would you give away? Think about it. 40 more. Means I lived more than I got left. 40 more. How many would you want to give away? How many would you want to piss away? That'd be my conversation for you today. I'm your head brain training neuron sculpting misfit. I'll see y'all where? I'll see you at the next event. I'm going to go have a conversation with my VIPs. If you want to join us there, go to unlearnme.live and set up your account. Unlearnme.live. I'll see you there. Bye for now. And YouTube, love you tons. Appreciate you so very, 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 very much. Have an amazing, fun-filled day. And I'll see you where? I'll see